Hello and welcome back. We're going to finish up the league here with the Goryo's Attracts list. If you're interested in the deck or how it works, I have a how to play video and talk about the specific deck list in that video. It's also linked in the description. We're just doing the last two games. We lost one to a Tron deck. It's very interesting. They had a turn 1 relic game 1. Then game 2, looking back, I kept a bad hand. I kept a hand that wasn't fast, and against Tron we have to be relatively fast. We're the aggressor in that matchup, and then we won a game 2-0 against another deck that I'm blanking on right now. Then I played Ruby Storm off. Look, he's Dragon Storm, but yeah, he was playing Storm off camera, so to speak, and won that one. In that one, this deck is the control deck. We're trying to stop them from comboing, as well as combo. Frog was very strong in this matchup because it allowed me to draw cards and keep interacting, and Solitude also did very well because Ral is really their main win con enabler and win con in one. Oh yeah, we beat a Through the Breach deck. That was the Kevin Black opponent. So yeah, last game 1, they won through a Solitude on turn 2. Well, they won on turn 3 after a Solitude turn 2, and I hadn't gotten the win. So double binding's a little clunky with the basic island, and we obviously want to fetch a black source here, so we won't be able to really cast those. Frog is really strong, but otherwise this hand is essentially 4 cards that do nothing. So I think we want to mull. Yeah, I think we want. I mean, Frog is strong, but if they had an answer to Frog, then this is clunky. So I think we'll take a mull. This is a turn 3 Goryos. So we'll keep. We can get rid of the extra Atraxa. Ketria essentially acting just as a island for casting Frog, but we also perfectly have. Why would I cycle? Oh, I'm in upkeep. That's why. There we go. We have all 5 land types in our just first 2 land drops without any fetching. Obviously, this hand is short in interaction, but okay, Guide of Souls off of Plains. That is a thing. Knowing we're facing this, there is some temptation. No, I don't want a Philology. Never mind. Sorry, I have Atraxa, so I want to be able to discard it for sure. I could Faithful Mending because it gains me life, but I think Frog being able to block and get bigger is better than gaining 2 life back from the shock. Interesting fetch land. This might not be Boros. We'll obviously see here, but it isn't. It's a Birthing Ritual deck. That's a little different. They likely are playing Graveyard Hate creatures. So we'll see what they get. They are sacking the guide. White Orchid Phantom. I was a little worried about that, but obviously we can. We do have basics. We'll get the island here. Any of them could cast Goryo, so that's nice too. We will discard Atraxa. I like that when you click Frog and you don't have 3 cards in the graveyard, it doesn't ask you which ability you want to activate. You can only discard. I wish that other cards were like that, like slightly intuitive. Unless they are main decking a Surgical, we should be pretty well off here. So for creature, I think I want the Solitude for sure. We'll go ahead and take the flats because we already have a blue fetch in our hand. And do I want another Goryo's? Force or Faithful? Don't think I want Force or I already have a Mending. I think I'll just go ahead and take the Goryo's here. And we'll discard. I don't think I'm going to cast this Philology. Want to keep Faithful Mending because it's a white card for Solitude. It says flying, so giving this flying doesn't mean it would actually hit. I assume it might chump block the Atraxa, but we'll see. No blocks? Wow, they're really... They must have like a combo, maybe? Drew another one here. Obviously, we notably did not hit Ephemerate. So we are going to lose the Atraxa. Won't be able to Goryo's it. But we'll put out the Marsh Flats they know about. We'll be able to fetch a Surveil land. And then hopefully Mending, unless we have to use it for Solitude. Because if they have some sort of combo, we will stop it. 2, 3, 4. Maybe I could have, if I had discarded Ranger. I mean, I can't counter it, so... What 1-drop are you getting? I am curious. Who will it be? This animal that I did see. Can you help me guess? It's another guide. Okay, well that's unexciting. It doesn't look like we're going to have to use our Solitude. Yeah, we gained a bunch of life, so not too worried about that. I'll just do this now. Do we want the Meticulous or the Sewers? Look at the Sewers because we can fetch the basic plains with the Flooded Train if we need it. The white source. Oh, why are you up there? Ephemerate would be fine. Means we could kind of cheese this Solitude and clear their board. Seems good. Assume they're going to end up sacking one of these to whatever their birthing ritual revealed. Probably have answers to Frog. Another White Orchid. I gotta shuffle our deck. So I should have waited. I wish I had a way to draw that in response, but I can't. So, yes, we'll go to Plains. This deck would have been a real drag to face with Blue Belcher. Force negation, right on time. I think I want to just cast as Faithful Mending. See what we can find. Another Frog. We got another Solitude. I could Solitude the Solitude. Don't think Force is going to do a whole lot for us, and they are going after our lands pretty aggressively, but I don't think I want to get rid of anything else. I'm going to fetch shock a Hollowed Fountain. Leaves us down a black source if they hit this one. Sorry, excuse me. My apologies. My body forgot how to swallow. Don't know why. Go ahead and swing with the Frog. 2 frogs is nice. We'll need to somehow get this one big enough to get past the White Orchids. Playing 3 basics is nice because it's like even if they somehow get a 3rd White Orchid, likely hit this, we'll still get our swamp. So it's like for a 19 land deck, we're doing fine with 4 in the graveyard or 5 in the graveyard. Oh yeah, I didn't give him flying, did I? My bad. 2 and then 3 is 5, so I'm going to have to discard 2 cards. If I'm going to discard 2, I might as well just... Guess we're doing Solitude now. My bad. I forgot that this doesn't inherently have flying. I should have given it flying, and then he would have had a chump block or take 3. Targeting the White Orchid, so it gains 2 life instead of 3. Now his captain's dead. I assume he'll sack it, because it's not going to kill the frog. A little clunky there. Goryo's is their last card, but that's not too bad of one to have. They have 4 in hand and a ritual. We know they have a guide, so I likely got to play that. Seem to be focused on land destruction with flagstones and white orchids going crazy here. We're still in a pretty good place. Could make it a 2-turn clock if they have no blockers, but I like to make this wide enough that you can see everything. What are we casting? Didn't seem like they're going for the guide. Bolted themselves. 3 mana for another, what, ranger? Yep. And then the 1-drop will be... Good old Ocelotty. But they didn't cast a guide or the Ocelot? Are they holding up a Path to Exile, maybe? That's odd. What do you got here? Ajani? Hiroki? Another white orchid. Wow. They're 100% on finding white orchids. That is fun. I am 1 mana short here. Don't think I want to pitch. I could just pitch the Goryos though, which means I will go ahead and just attack with both. If he blocks this frog, we pitch the Goryos. Yeah. And then, do you have a Path to Exile? Ephemerate. Man, I wish I had a white card. Shoot. If I do this, I still end up with just 1 card in hand. Is there any 1 card better than Solitude? Probably not. But I could get an Atraxa in the graveyard. Crucial Brand in the graveyard. Do I dip this and take the land because he's got to hit another land? Or do I keep it and hope to draw a white? They're going to 5, but they'll still have this. They still have 3 cards. We know it's Ocelot and Guide. Then Guide plus Ocelot get a trigger. So we're going to go wide pretty quick, but... So I think I'm going to keep the land because they get to rebound the Ephemerate. Oh, they're hitting their land. Didn't expect that. Didn't know they could. Makes sense, they essentially ramped themselves. Okay. We'll see what we draw off of this frog that was not blocked. We can give them both flying next turn, which is nice. Do I just play this out? Do I just play this out? I'm gonna keep both because like this can be lethal. If it's not blocked, if I have 2 cards, this could be lethal with 3 cards. Oh no, he's gonna gain 1, at least 1, maybe 2, 3 life. I think I'll play this out. Felt bad to have gotten rid of the Solitude there. Let's see if they go after our land this time. I assume they don't have another flagstone, so. This one I assume is the one they go off. Nope. Fail to find. 4 cards in the hand, we know 2 of them. Guide plus Ocelot, Tales Old of Time. Should put this on the stack first so Ocelot resolves. Yep. Also resolves to get City Blessings, so he gets 2 cat tokens. Now he can sack cat tokens to get other guides and Ocelots, which just gets crazy really fast. Hopefully they don't have their 4th White Orchid here. It is a possibility. Up to 8 sucks. Give these both flying, they have to chump 1. Or I can give them both flying plus sink into stupor this. It doesn't have flash, right? Gets really blown out by another ephemerate though. I only have 2 cards in hand. Oh, they sacked it. What are they e-witting back? That seems loose. Ephemerate. Okay. There's nothing in their graveyard. What can they do? They can ephemerate. Anything they ephemerate gains them another life. I discard 2 cards. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm still too short of killing them. I can Leyline Binding the cat or the guide or the birthing ritual. Can I actually? Costs 3. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and just give these both flying because that's what I'm going to do. It's like if I don't get rid of the guide, then they're going to gain a bunch of life. And since I'm essentially erasing their life, I'm probably just going to have to Leyline Binding the guide. So in that case, I think I'm going to discard this. I'm going to wait. I assume they're going to ephemerate this turn. What do they have here? Oh, they're Thraben charming me, aren't they? Yeah. Shoot. That card is very good against us in the main deck because it can exile our graveyard in response to our Goryos as well. I assume now they can ephemerate the Ewit to get this back, which means that our frog is dead next turn. Being able to loop the Thraben charm, so to speak, with Ewits, it's going to be very difficult for us to pull anything out of this. Ephemerate, it would have been really nice a while ago. I guess we might be able to use this to save the frog from a Thraben charm, but so we can respond to this by Leyline Binding it, and then but then their ephemerate, they still get to gain life. I think we can let them loop that. This also means that it doesn't get rebound, I believe. Yeah. So we hope they just kind of draw lands, but the birthing ritual makes them very likely to like continue. Oh yeah, they get to buff this up. So we'll probably take like a draw or 2 for Goryos. Because if we Goryos this Grizzlebrand, we could put ourselves back ahead. We did actually have a pretty weak... But my Faithful Bending might have been the light. I mean, in the light of the 3rd, or ephemerating the 3rd night, May have made the wrong choice there. Being able to trade a token for another Ocelot Pride just feels like cheating. Well, that is essentially a Goryo's. Do you have a Thraben Charm? I'd like to exile that one, please. I would like to adapt. I would like to pay 7 life, draw 7 cards. Probably do it again, but let's make this guy have flying. Come on, I clicked it. I think we have lethal here, but let's go to combat. The fun part about Grizzlebrand is he works really well with Frog. Nothing? Okay. Found the line. I'm going to discard cards until this is big enough. Yes. Okay. It's like if they had interaction, I think they would have used it. I think our Marches and Skies definitely come in. Wrath, hitting their go wide plan as well as being able to hit like the birthing ritual is great. March similarly can hit any creature or the ritual. We don't really have like an answer to them destroying our lands. I mean, playing 3 basics is nice. Reprieve is pretty weak against the deck with a bunch of 1 and 2 drops. Forces are pretty weak. Obviously, Birthing Ritual is very strong, but I don't think we can afford to play it just to stop that one thing. Subtlety, again, against Birthing Ritual, it's good against their, like, turn 1, turn 2. Surgical has some consideration. Hitting a Knight with a White Orchid or an Ocelot Pride or the Guide would just... Consign only hits... I think I'm pretty sure this is an Aspiring Spike list. Sorry. About my throat, I don't know why. Oh my gosh. One time I typed in the wrong thing. And now every time it's like, that's the one you want, right? What did he call it? He has all these standard decks. People aren't really playing a lot of Modern right now because we're all just waiting for Modern to change. Green-White Thraben Charm. So, yeah, this is the list. So he's playing Solitudes. Sky, assuming they copied this. I guess it could have cut that. But yeah, this looks like exactly it. Just Sanctifiers, good to know. An extra Thraben Charm probably doesn't bring in Fatigue. And Endurance, yeah, so Endurance plus Sanctifier, he has a decent amount of Graveyard Hate. So we can't trust our Goryos is to always be great. Maybe I cut the Priest for just like Teferi can bounce stuff, maybe. Trying to think. Yeah, I don't know that surgicals are worth it. I mean, he does have a lot of 4-ofs. That's better than a Teferi. I don't know. We want white cards for our Solitudes. Probably not keeping the 1-lander. It's tempting. I mean, Double Frog, being able to pitch these, Surgical. I mean, Wrath is great, but yeah. Don't think we can keep 1 land. Oh, this is another... Wow, our lands have just been really awkward. If we find any way to discard, this hand's great. I guess we're keeping and not going Goryos. But I don't have a white source. I was going to say we could make a Solitude and ephemerate it, but I don't have a white source. Let's hope we find a white source. I'm just going to assume they got the Graveyard Hate, Endurance, or Sanctifier. We'll lead on Sewers and hope to find. We need to find a white source. We found our white source. Okay. Well, see, this is great. We'll put one of these in the graveyard. Make them want to get rid of it. If they have Sanctifier, I assume they play Sanctifier, but next turn we can exile the other Atraxa to Solitude and ephemerate it, and still have a Solitude in our hand, which is nice. Play on another creature. I want my Solitudes to have targets. That's not another creature. Are you going to sack an also? Oh, you get to make a token. I gotta sack the token to get a creature, probably. Which will either be a guide, an ocelot, or... That's it for their 1-drops. What a start. Birthing Ritual makes this seem so consistent. We'll do this now. I could wait till their turn. But... now... both gone, and they can't ephemerate in response is the only thing I was possibly worried about. And now we're actually pretty land heavy. Maybe we'll end up cycling this. No. I'm playing my ley lines. Let's get it out there. Next turn I'll play this, I suppose, and we'll go from there. So we have our ephemerate coming off of... So if they play a creature now, even if they upgrade it or whatever, unless it is an ocelot and makes multiple somehow, they know it's just going to get solituded. So having the ephemerate off a rebound just encourages them to take the turn off, which is a win for us. They could still play like the White Orchid Phantom and then sack it and hope to get like another one. They got the Sanctifier. Huh. I am surprised knowing that we're gonna, like, I feel like they want this to stay in play. I don't think they want to birthing it, and they don't want it to get solituded, so they can't ephemerate it in response to Solitude. Maybe they forgot about rebound, but I will definitely trade and attack this turn to get rid of this card. It's very effective against us. Did they forget about the ephemerate? This long pause makes it seem like they did. And they're like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have played that. That's another reason, I don't know why. Whenever I have held up Solitude, my opponent plays, or held up Ephemerate for their turn or whatever, done that play on their turn, my opponent plays around it. But I often have found that when I Ephemerate on my turn, they don't. This is perfect to go in the graveyard right now. We have exiled everything, so this actually has like no text. We want to draw, any white card is decent, but we already have 2 lands to hardcast this Solitude, so to speak. Drawing another Ephemerate would be great, because we could just continue to keep the board clear. Birthing Ritual does give them a lot of value, but right now they could get a Knight and hit our white source. No, another Sanctifier. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Oh, we don't want to draw our basics. Maybe they took them out. I don't know. I think I'm fine offering this trade. If they just swing back, we're doing 3 damage, they're only doing 2, and we're gaining life. If they trade, then I'm happy. So we'll do that, get us close to life, but now they finally have kept something on the board. Assume this is getting the Lush Portico, yep. I don't think we have another Surveil land, so this will just be a tapped Hollow Fountain. We got 3 cards in hand and nothing? Huh. Interesting. Don't want to swap that for whatever they got. I don't know what they'd really swap this for, honestly. So we're going to shock ourselves, be a little aggressive here. I don't want to get the basic. I want to leave it in the deck. And we're going to Solitude. Obviously, again, we don't have to do this main phase, but I am doing it main phase. Because if they had something, I'd rather them use it here, I think. They have Endurance. Didn't expect that. That will kill this. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, we expected Endurances. They might sack, oh yeah, one of these two to get something off the Birthing Ritual. This is where they get their value now. A 2-for-1. Another Ephemerate would be great. We also have now dealt with their Sanctifiers. We assume they don't have a third based on the list that Aspiring Spike played. So, and they likely only have one more Endurance, so we could set up for another Goryos now. Lost 2 Atraxas. A lot of decisions to make in their list. It's very interesting. I mean, I've always wanted to see Birthing Ritual do well. This list seems to take advantage of it, although don't know if Goddess Souls and Ocelot will be around. But if they end up banning like Flage and Amped Raptor or whatever, this list will be good. What did they do? They got another Captain and got the Ocelot Pride. So, question is with this: do we want to get rid of the Birthing Ritual and try to like deal with the board? Do you want to get rid of Guide of Souls so this doesn't just trigger automatically, but then they can maybe get another one off a Birthing Ritual? Do we want to try to deal with the Endurance that, or, Captain or the Pride itself? I think any one creature, this is just going to give them too much value. So I think I just want to get rid of it. I think we just want to get rid of that. We've flooded out pretty hard. Again, our deck only plays 19 lands. Didn't we fetch a different one? We fetched this. Where did our fetch land go? Oh, it got shuffled back in. Endurance. Endurance throws off all my count, but we have 6 in play, 1 in our hand. We fetched 1. We drew these 3, so we fetched twice, 3 times now. I said it when I first did the deck tech that somehow this deck never has problems making land drops. So we see that they are going to get their tokens. So we're really hoping to like draw Wrath, draw a, we'll keep a card in hand going forward for like Faithful Mending to hopefully like draw us into a Goryo's, or Tainted Indulgence to draw us into a Goryo's. Like I said, they may have one more Endurance, but at this point we should hopefully be able to resolve a Goryo's. We've really fought through a lot of their hate. And so far we've only seen one of our sideboard cards. I guess technically Surgical was, but we scried that away. Yeah. We definitely want to cast him. Maybe an Ephemerate. We milled 2 frogs. Oh, that's very sad. Frogs would have been fine here. That's a little awkward. They're going to start flying over us with this. Plus they have these big dudes. At least now we can block one of the 3/3s. If I swing, I assume they just trade for the 2 tokens, and I want to keep the Solitude in play to potentially Ephemerate if we draw that. I'd rather Ephemerate that than the Philology. It also could block one of these if they swing with it. I assume they're just going to like buff up the cat, swing with Ranger and Endurance. And the cat. Yeah. That is the attack I would make. So this has flying and will fly over me, and I will block one of these, and I will go to low health. I guess at this point, just getting an ephemerate isn't going to save me, because it's going to make 2 more tokens. If I don't block here, 3, 6, I'm going to 3, so I guess we're doing this. We need to draw Wrath, or somehow Goryo's a Atraxa here to like stabilize. Don't think Frog does it. We can give Frog flying to block this. We can block that. So we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we're not like technically dead yet. Where's all our draw cards? We don't seem to draw those very often. I mean, I've seen some. We saw some Faithful Mending last game, but like, I do play Tainted Indulgence as well, and we have not seen anything. Skyclave, I think that's pretty much lethal. He hits this. 3 in the air, block that out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, whatever. We might technically go to 1, but okay. Well, we saw our sideboard there. I think watch us reprieve. I think I want Teferi to like sometimes bounce the birthing ritual and make them replay it, maybe. Or do we want to actually bring in the force? Because if I can force that ritual, it would stop a lot of their nonsense. Let's shuffle our deck back in. Yeah, maybe I just want to try to force it. Sometimes. I do also play Ephemerate, obviously. And the Thraben Charm. Didn't see the charm that game, so. We didn't even see a Goryo's that game. Not that it would have been good, but that was interesting. We didn't see a lot of our 4-ofs. Whoa. That is a lot of Goryo's Froggies. 3 Frog and 2 Goryos. I might actually keep that with 2 lands. I like seeing Wrath, Ephemerate, and Solitude. I'm actually going to probably tuck the Frog here. It feels so wrong. No, we keep the Frog. Tuck the basic so we don't have to go get it. Or so we can go get it in case they keep in the Knights. We actually can't cast the Frog with any of our lands, but do I want to get rid of this? Yeah, I don't think I want to draw it right now. This is in a graveyard hand. This is a Ephemerate Solitude hand, hopefully, and I don't actually want to pitch Wrath of the Skies. So I want to hit a black source, which this doesn't help me hit, because ideally I'm just casting Frog this turn, or another white card. Another white card's fine. So, no Frog, but we can, if they go like Guide Ocelot, we're good. This is notably kind of weak if they just play the Birthing Ritual first. That's an interesting putting Guide to the graveyard. They do have the ritual first. So I don't think I'm going to just throw Solitude out there, because as a 3-2, it's not actually that great in this matchup. I want it for its triggers. Oh, this is decent. Get us a black source. I guess I'll take the Shrine. So we still get to hold up Ephemerate Solitude, and Wrath of the Skies soon we'll be able to hit Birthing Ritual as well. So we might end up just doing... That's awkward. So I'm not going to pitch this because I don't already have Goryos. If I did, I would right here. I also don't want to Ephemerate to save this because I want to use it on Solitude. I could Solitude now and get rid of the Skyclave. See what they get off Birthing Ritual, I guess. X or less. So yeah, they can still get a 1-drop or a 2-drop. If they saw a Sanctifier, obviously they're going to take it and sign it. So they didn't take it. Do I want to just do this now? I don't get to use the rebound or anything, so I think I'm going to wait on it. Falaji is awkward. He doesn't. I don't actually want to mill my lands right now. I want one more land, so I can kill this. But I don't think I want to do nothing. A Solitude and a Frog? Come on, that was a bad mill. Okay. Okay, we'll survive. Wish I could Goryo's as Solitude. This is just one match, right? Yeah, this is a long one. We're down to 5 minutes. Made a lot of decisions. It's been a lot of back and forth. It's been a fun one. I also almost coughed myself to death. That took up some time. Hopefully our next match is a little faster, though. What are we doing over there, friendo? You got the Sanctifier? Yep, seems pretty good. Yep, exile them all. Cast something else. So I think here's where we're going to ephemerate the Solitude. Before we go to the end step. Turn it here first in case they have an ephemerate. Okay. Ephemerate. A Thraben Charm in response. It would only do 1 damage. No, it's twice the number. Creatures. Well, that's annoying. But it is what it is. We traded a Thraben Charm for an Ephemerate. It's not the end of the world. We get to go get a guide here, I assume, and we get our 2/2, right? CMC. Yeah. Okay. Leyline Binding. How much does this cost? 3? Perfect. Let's just get rid of this Birthing Ritual before it gets even more out of hand. I've lost 1 Atraxa, 2 Frogs. We got another Ranger Captain. It's a weird game. Weird matchup. I don't think we're favored in this matchup by any means. Like, I think their deck should beat our deck on average. Oh, look, they had Guide into Ocelot Pride. Tale as old as time. I'll not block for now. I guess block because Wrath would make more sense. I think I have to do it even if it's just for 1 now. Yeah, I'm doing it for 1, so I should have just chumped with this. And not Falaji. That's what your opponent can't cast that. Yep. Yep, that's gonna hurt us. Shoot. It's not what I want to draw. Now they can give this flying and hit for more, and they can use this the next turn. So they might have me dead because of Ranger Captain. I'm definitely blocking it this time. This is where it would have been great to draw another Solitude or a Leyline or even another. We could like ephemerate our Falaji. We get a bunch more tokens. So I might be dead before I can use the Wrath. Ooh, Ephemerate on Ranger Captain. Wow, that's strong. Okay, another Ocelot Pride. Yeah, if they sack this, we're dead. Unfortunately, which obviously they will. Yeah, this is okay. This is what we should be doing in Magic. They didn't sack it, which I assume to be 100% a misclick. Wish I could pay more. I just haven't drawn any land. Last game I was swimming in it. I will pay all my energy to make this board go away, please. And thank you. They will get to ephemerate the Ranger Captain to get another guide, I assume. And we just hope to our ephemerate on Philology sets up Goryo's. That's our ideal. Another Pride. Okay. Do they have a guide in hand already? They have double Pride. Okay. It's not the best for us. This mill's 3. This only sees 2 more cards, so we hit attracts beautiful. We'll take this. No. I'll leave it to make it a 1-3. Yeah. Might actually run out of time here. I have always prided myself with playing quickly, but this matchup has been weird. Well, they have the endurance. Okay. If we had more mana, we could actually Goryo's in response to this, right? Set up for a double Goryo's is what you can do against Graveyard Hate sometimes. Obviously, this game we have not had that option, and I'm playing as tightly as we can here. I do think it was important to make this a 1-4 so that these can't just swing in, but if they have another guide, that won't matter. Also, I mean, they have 6. No, it doesn't matter. So we're just dead. Do we have an out? We need another land. We've needed another land the whole time, but another Wrath of Skies doesn't do it. We need an actual like land plus Supreme Verdict. Yeah. Ephemerate fizzles. He's good. We can't even cast non-creatures. So yeah. Oh. Do I actually? I should just cast this in response. I just want to see what our cards are. Okay. Cool. Finally hit a Leyline Binding. Yeah, tough match. I mean, that and the Tron matchup were both felt rough, but so you know, it's all hard to say. We have no idea what the meta is going to be like in 2 days, but stuff to keep in mind when considering this deck. And like I said, it's possible if both Guide and Ocelot are legal and other cards get banned, that like that might become that style of deck or Birthing Ritual deck might become the best Guide Ocelot Pride deck. And maybe they play Soul Warden, but maybe they don't. We only have Fetch. We don't have Goryos. We don't have anything to ephemerate, but we have Philology and Mending. I feel like that's a decent setup. Probably gonna want to fetch a Black Source, obviously, but what is this? Delighted Halfling. Pendelhaven? Is this an actual like Elves list or something? I like another fetch because it means we could set up for Leyline Binding and get a Black Source, which is important. We don't need another Philology, so we'll put that in the graveyard. Well, it can't target Halfling. What are we casting over there? Everyone's just testing random decks for post-ban, it seems. Oh, is that a Yawgmoth deck? We play Pendelhaven and Yawgmoth? Yeah, but what is going on? It's a Birthing Ritual deck. Apparently this is the card we get to see today. All day. So we can't fetch Ketria Triumph and do the binding this turn because we wouldn't have a black land. So I'm going to probably just pass like this and maybe reprieve. If not, I'll do the mending. And then I can binding this the next turn. Mending is a little worse than Phlogy, but I want to be able to hold up this reprieve. Because they might cast something this turn that we have to counter. That's not it. Yeah. I think I might just go ahead and return it to hand anyway. It's really any black source. Do this one though. Just allows them to now to cast multiple cards and so take a couple damage. We might take some more if they sack this and get another card. I think they'll take one when that dies. No. Jaral's Messenger. Interesting. Okay, we can't fetch it with the Marsh Flats, notably. So I'm going to get the Triome and just binding now. Guess I could have waited for that, but I forget this has flash, and I don't think they have like an infinite combo. This and a sack outlet. They need some way to take away its one. So I guess if they play Yawg this turn, I want a binding Yawg. It's a little loose. Hopefully I get to just binding this, but we'll see. It is the One Ring. Would I rather Leyline binding that or Birthing Ritual? Probably the One Ring, unfortunately. Miss having Commandeer for that. Almost tempted to try the mending into a force that turn, but I think that's a little too loose. Because if we don't hit the force, then we just don't get to binding anything, and all we do is gain 2 life. Okay, we gotta set up a big turn here. Come on, deck. We could... I think we'll do mending, trying to hit a Goryo's. They hit Yawgmoth off of Jaral's Messenger. That's not good for us. Pay 1 life, sack another creature. Sack this, -1 on that. Draw a card. Hit a Goryo's, but... sort of binding the Yawg. I assume in response he's going to flicker this once. Does that kill us? Puts us down to... Get this. Come on, Atraxa. It's hard to bottom this. But do I need to? Because I need to just draw into Atraxa so I can Goryo's it. I can Archaeologist plus Ephemerate while holding up Goryo's. Yeah, I think we just need to dig as far as possible. We're not at a state where like Frog is what's gonna pull us out of this. We gotta get an Atraxa. Grizzlebrand. I guess technically drawing 7 and staying at the same life could set us up as well. But we hope to hit it off the first archaeologist so we can then ephemerate. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Wow, double birthing ritual, so they're pretty likely to dig into another Yawg here, which could be very bad for us. Yeah, they could kill us with another Yawg. Even just hitting the like apprentice and then anything that can get rid of Geralf's messenger. Strangleroot Geist. I love that card. Feels like we might lose this one, unfortunately. Guess we're only 20 cards deep. It feels like we've played a long game and haven't seen an Atraxa, but we have not gotten to dig a lot. Okay, so they gained a lot, but they didn't kill us. They've set themselves up very well. That's not ideal. Do this, I'm holding up that. Go. Show me a Atraxa, please. That's not Atraxa. So if I ephemerate it, I could still get Goryo's off this turn. And wow. 2 lands and a Fateful Mending. I guess we're just casting the other one then. Psychic Frog, Emperor, and Flooded Strand. Well, now we've seen half our deck without a single Atraxa, which is just very unlikely for us. We might be dead. 1, 2, 3. All I have to do is sack this to one of the birthing rituals, and I think we're dead. Yeah. We have to block here, we take 3, we go to 1, and then they just sack this, and it comes back from Undying and kills us, but... Oh no, they could just do it that way. That's funny. We lost that Pendelhaven. You don't have to cast more spells. You already have lethal. You did it. Definitely want surgicals here. Fury's probably too slow. Subtlety, I think, is good enough here. It's hard. The forces and reprieves. Probably not the reprieves. We do want, again, these cards against Birthing Ritual. Priest feels a little clunky. Emperor we'll just take out because he's slow. I guess the forces. Didn't see a single Solitude, did we, either? In the top 30 cards, we didn't see any of these 8. Would have been nice. Would have been nice. I think I'd rather have Surgical than more Subtlety against this combo. 1 land again. It's so close. 1 land, we can cheese a Solitude and cast March. Is that worth it? It's just this hand's so good against anything except I guess I can even hit Birthing Ritual. Feels bad. Feels like this might be incorrect, but at least if it is, we probably die fast. I feel like I can answer all the things I care about answering. An early answer to Birthing Ritual, and then an early answer to multiple cards. We have to graveyard that for a land, I think. They're like, wow, Solitude in the graveyard. What do they have? The answer is no lands, sir. That's what I have. We got like 2 turns to draw. This hand would have been hilarious to get Thought Seized. Oh, see? Look at that. Like, right professional. We just went ahead and drew the land. Knew it was there the whole time. Never doubted myself for a second. We want to pitch the Mending to Solitude and then Ephemerate is our ideal situation. Do we want to do it? To a wall of roots is the question. Definitely want to keep that one. Yeah, we'll do it here now. We get to double up. Plus I don't gain any life. Ephemerate gets kind of wasted. Well, not wasted. It let us keep a Solitude and kill 2 things instead of 1. So drawing that other one is nice. Yeah, I'm not doing anything else this turn. So I feel like this is an okay start. Drawing lands means our Wrath gets better. We have March to hit a Birthing Ritual. At this point, we'd have to like pitch the Solitude, unfortunately, but we also just kind of have a clean answer to a Yawgmoth or a Geralf's Messenger. Interesting Forest. No cast. Interesting. What are the 5 cards in your hand? Well, that's great. We just need another Faithful Mending. Of course, we pitched one. Or honestly, Frog would be great right now too. Oh, Endurance is coming down. Well, if you're gonna shuffle it, let's get the other Solitude into the graveyard. Do I wanna? I think because I have Goryos, I'm not gonna pitch Atraxa, and because at this point the board is what it is, I'm gonna keep the March, but not that. I don't really care about the order, I suppose, here. Let's get rid of that forever and sack this before you shuffle our deck so that we can draw those Solitudes again, but we don't get to get that Wrath, which doesn't feel great, but is what it is. We've managed to make it to turn 4 without them having a single creature on the board and being at 24 life, so that feels pretty good. I got Orcish Bowmasters. So I don't want to pitch this to March just yet. Hopefully we can draw a land and get it. I think it's fine giving him 1 token, 1 trigger, but maybe not. Maybe it is better to just do that. I'd really like to draw either Frog or Mending or Tainted Indulgence and get to actually Goryo's this Atraxa, because I think we can pull ahead and win this game from that line. Oh man, I really don't want to pitch it. This would have been a great turn too. They're tapped out. Only 2 cards in hand. We've exiled 1 Endurance. I think I'm going to just roll the dice here and wait another turn. Of course, they might just get Yawgmoth off this Geralf's Messenger and put us in a rough spot again. We can pull out of it if we draw some good cards off Atraxa, though. Feels like they're holding up another Endurance, unfortunately. Yeah, Yawgmoth, of course, of course. I can do X's 3, so I can't quite hit the Yawgmoth with this March. Please hit a land drop, come on. We'll pitch a Goryo's to make them think we're not using it. Got both of those. I can't really afford to get the Ketria Triumph right now. I can't can't swing either. I assume this is just going to die next turn, unfortunately. So do I want to swing in and gain 2 life? I think we'll do that. I think he's just going to put another -1/-1 on it. Was this, yeah, they were holding up endurance. I was right. Well, we got to make our land drop and to get a frog, so I think it's better than holding a second Goryo's in our hand anyway. Four, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's gonna be quick. Uh-oh. Does double undying mean you can just loop? Or... yeah. But he's still paying a life. He's just hoping to draw into the card that gains life, and then he'll have infinite. I feel like he should have just swung with the Jarl's Messenger first. As the Blood Artist. So now he actually goes up in life each time because he gets 2 creatures coming back. Good games. It was a risky keep. It did feel close though. Some interesting matchups there at the end. I do think that this deck will play a lot better into the meta, but we'll see. We'll see. We really don't know what the meta is going to be. I do think a Goryo's Atraxa list is better than the other Goryo's list right now. I wish that wasn't true. I also am not a huge fan of Atraxa myself, but in playing it versus other things, it does just feel like the best thing to be doing. These counter spells could be different spells. I've seen lists running, Fatal Pushes and Thought Seizes. People run more Emperor, but it never really felt like we needed more of these effects. Obviously, there was one game that Priest wouldn't be as good as Emperor, but I think there was a game we also pitched it to Solitude. So, like I said, I like this person's build, and it did feel powerful. It is very apparent, that Modern's kind of on hold right now because the ban announcement's coming so close. So, just wanted to kind of have some fun playing a deck and share it with y'all. So, I assume that this deck won't really change after the ban, but if there are options, because you can make it closer to the ground, you can play more counter magic, you can play a full playset of Teferi in the main, if you need to. You can play discard spells, can change up what spells you have here. So there's a lot of places to go with it. So I like it. I think it will be a strong one going forward. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Have a great day.